All right, you guys, yo, this is I got the Sports Plus Life edition that's loading up now. But I got something I've been waiting for a long time. Y'all know Tony from the show. Y'all know Tony. He's my regular. Then y'all know my brother Sean from the show. So I got both of them on the line right here, right now. This is gonna be called Sports Plus Life Special Edition Talking Shit. Cause that's what we doing. We talking shit. What up, brothers?
Yeah, what's going on?
All right. Well, look, the main thing that I was talking to both of you guys about was I'll start first and foremost with this trade between the Rams and the Lions. Matt Stafford for Jared Goff. Tony, go ahead and take the floor first. What you got?
It makes the Rams marginally better. They wanted the financial cap freedom, so they got that and getting out from underneath Goff's contract. Only problem is their next draft pick will be of a guy that's currently 8 years old. That'll be their next first-round draft pick because they don't have any draft picks for the next decade, maybe. But, you know, when you are an active player in free agency and you feel like you can build a championship team from that, you go with it. On the Lions side, they got to be laughing. You know, they got to be laughing. They got a farm for a guy that they probably would have, if the Rams had just waited till right before the season, they might have got him for one first-round pick. So, you know, Detroit has to be happy with it. Unfortunately, it's a kind of an incompetent front office, so all those, you know, the compensation for Stafford probably won't amount to much, you know, because these players, they'll let them play out their rookie contract and then let them go because they don't want to pay them.
All right, Sean, what you got, bro?
I agree with him, but they basically like the same person to me. You just traded for the same person. I mean, Matt Stafford, I mean, he had basically Calvin Johnson his early part of his career where he was getting the big numbers. I mean, he really ain't do too much with that. And I saw the Rams. Oh my God, they giving up all their picks for what? They got a hit on everything because they're spending so much money. I think I just seen something that they had like 140 million in cap. I mean, right now, just off them players, like Cooper Kupp, all of them getting paid. Aaron Donald's getting paid. Jalen Ramsey's like 20 million. Matt Stafford like 20 million. Like, they ain't even gonna have a team. Like, they gonna have to get like a bunch of practice squad players to play for them or hit at least on their drafts because they spend all their money just in like a handful of players, and the cap drops, if I'm not mistaken, due to this COVID. So I think it goes down. So I mean, you can't really keep. I don't even know how they got all them players on their team because I mean it's not enough money to go around that team. So I don't know what they were thinking, and to do that for their future. I mean, they're not even like who they better hope Tom Brady leaves because the Buccaneers gonna be around for a minute, and they just wasted that. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, what I'll give the Rams credit for is they have signed a bunch of players to huge contracts, and even though they got rid of Todd Gurley, they got rid of Brandon Cooks, but one thing you said the Rams better hit on their drafts. They have a habit of hitting on their drafts. You know,
they better continue to.
They have to. I mean, I'll give them credit because they are, they have proven to be a very smart organization now. It's one thing that me and Tony was talking about before we got on here is that I felt the same way that you did as far as Matt Stafford and Jared Goff is, are you really making an upgrade? But Tony said something to me about the organization. Tell him what you told me.
Well, from an organizational standpoint, Detroit has been dysfunctional for years. Like Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, all of them complained about the front, and they've made no changes. So, it's more the same. They draft well. Then once those players ascend and say, pay me, they trade them away or let them walk away or, whatever, or, just waste their careers. Whereas the Rams are always aggressive. They're always looking to make a move. Just said, they hit on their drafts, and then they're always aggressive somehow in free agency when they have no money. I don't know how. another thing. This, you know what it is? It's probably the dirty Niners backdoor deals with briefcases of money late at night. You know.
I'm with it.
But they managed to do it and stay competitive in a competitive division.
Yeah. Well, I know they're probably going to see change a little bit now because I know they took John Dorsey. I think John Dorsey went over there to be a consultant for them for their draft. So maybe they'll hit a little bit better on those drafts and make better decisions as far as keeping players around. As far as I hear you say that when they get better and they just let them go to other places. But I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I don't too much see what the deal is. The Lions came off. Taking the draft picks and getting those draft picks for real because they basically got the same player that they can build around and keep in the same offense. I think Jared Goff will fit the Lions and what the Lions will do anyway. And then you get those picks and you get John Dorsey. And hopefully he can keep building a team around it like he did KC and Cleveland. And then they'll just come out. As far as the Rams, they better win like soon because they're aggressive to win now, but hopefully they get there. Like I said, I don't see them really. I mean, getting past Tampa and then like I don't know what they were thinking for that one. I think they should have just.
Well, one thing I'll say about the difference between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff is Matthew Stafford has had several head coaches, several offensive coordinators, and he's managed to put up numbers. They haven't equated to anything when it comes to postseason, not a damn thing. But we're gonna find out this season: is Jared Goff just a product of Sean McVay's offense? Because remember his rookie season under Jeff Fisher, he was considered a bust. So, but ever since the success started his second year with Sean McVay.
Everybody was a bust under Jeff Fisher. Like, Jeff Fisher was trash. I mean, like, then he had Nick Foles the year before we got Nick Foles in Philadelphia.
Right.
And Nick was trash, and then Nick came over here, and look what he did. So, I mean, that was just a thing with Jeff Fisher. If you read the reports around there, they were talking about everybody up under him was bad. So, I mean, you can't even look at that with him.
Well, the only quarterback that Jeff Fisher ever had success with was Steve McNair and a little bit of Vince Young. But by that time, when we got into the 2010s and beyond, football had clearly passed him by. It clearly passed him by. But so my next question for both of you is, and Sean, I'll start off with you with this one: Deshaun Watson.
Ooh. You got to get the farm up for him. I mean, if Matt Stafford went for that, and you got a young quarterback who, I mean, you already see on tape that he has it. You're gonna have to give up a lot to get him at least this year's first round pick and next year's first round pick just to talk about it. And I mean, I was talking about this with you before, or I don't know if it was you, but the Redskins, man.
Yeah, we were talking about Washington. Yeah,
that's who I don't want them, but that they have all the utensils to go get him, and they need him. And if I was them, I'd go get him. But I know if I'm the Texans, I'm looking at one of them linemen that's coming over here, either Montez or Chase. But like I said, I know for sure
you ain't getting Chase.
Yeah,
you ain't getting Chase
Young. But if I was them, I would do Montez Sweat and maybe in a first round pick, and I would try to get Deshaun Watson in DC. I really would.
Tony?
And maybe a first round? No. The starting the conversation with Deshaun Watson is the Texans.
It's true.
They've already, how many times can an organization make the same stupid mistake? You already did the opposite.
Bill O'Brien killed him.
Sell it low. You have no reason to sell low with Deshaun Watson. You have no reason to sell low.
You're right.
So the Redskins, you about 2 first-round picks? No, you sending me 3 first-round picks and Montez Sweat and maybe a third in a future draft. That's what you're sending me. Now, I said to Brad, I hope they do it. I hope they do it. It doesn't, that needle, it changes them somewhat, but in the overall picture, it weakens them. The strength of their team is the defense and the bookends. You could say, hey, opposite Chase, you could put anybody, but I don't think that's the case. Not based on what I saw this year. They were a tandem. And mortgaging your future for a quarterback who's going to eat up a chunk of your salary cap. Hey, I'm in favor of all that.
But Washington is it? I mean, Washington is the, like you said, the defense is what they got. They got those linemen, but I mean, you still got Allen, you still got Chase, and then you would get those picks from them. You can go get you. I'm not saying you can replace Montez Sweat. I'm not saying whoever you can get out the draft would help them. And then if you look this year, there's a lot of good free agent. There's good, decent free agent pass rushers out there. So you could get somebody on the opposite side of him, and then you get somebody like Deshaun Watson on offense that's going to continuously get the ball back because that defensive line is going to get it to you. Like, and then you can use the draft capital to get him receivers, to get him a running
draft capital. You gave your draft capital to get him.
Oh yeah, true. I'm sorry. But you get my bad.
Free agents money is going to get eaten up by Deshaun and get eaten up by your star, his favorite wide receiver.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you look at Washington's receiving core, it's young. Terry McLaurin is a beast. He's a beast, the most slept-on, quiet wide receiver to me in football. Dude just goes out and handles
it 2 times a year. So he tears us up.
Well, you know, Tony's team see him 2 times a year too. And then the Sims boys, they're good. Logan Thomas has turned into a damn good tight end from converting the quarterback. So it's not like their skill positions are trash. You know, you guys are talking about draft capital to draft receivers. The receivers are there.
It look like the quarterback there. Yeah, Dwayne Haskins and them are just right. And you had a game manager, Alex Smith, who was there doing this thing.
The Washington football team's team. What's the weakest part?
I would say
their offense. Their offensive line, yeah.
Yeah.
You can have all those beautiful weapons and Deshaun Watson. What's his problem at the Texans? The offensive line. All you do is change it. You just change your places. It doesn't. It makes.
But you can't change your places. You can't
giving up talent to get talent.
Yeah, but I mean.
But you're putting Deshaun Watson with a defense.
From Dwayne Haskins, I mean, that's a big jump.
You're putting Deshaun Watson with a defense in a terrible division. Even with a weak offensive line, I would still like Washington's chances year by year in the NFC.
They took it without him right now. They took it without Deshaun Watson, with a Haskins. Like, that division is going to be like, looking at the Eagles, I mean, ain't nobody talking about rebuild, but that thing is a rebuild. All them old players over there. I don't know what Dallas is going to do with that. And who is going to be their quarterback and what they plan on doing?
Yeah, it's going to be Dak. Like, there's no question that it. The only people that's questioning whether it will be Dak is maybe Dak haters, but it's going to be Dak. It's just a matter.
I mean, they're gonna have to pay him. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay him. But you see, Dak gonna want it now because he already got a franchise that then got injured, so he already gonna push for that big bucks.
Dak's value went up with the Cowboys season once he got hurt. I believe his stock went up because the Cowboys finished 6-10. Now, mind you, I mean, look. Am I paying Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes money? Hell no, no way. You've been in the league for 5 years.
Actually, I would pay him Mahomes money. I would pay him Mahomes money because Mahomes has one of the friendliest contracts ever. You know.
Okay, well, let's put it this way: would I pay him Deshaun Watson money? No. Because for one, I'm not paying that for.
Like Brady took the money to help keep that team together. You know, type money.
I mean, because come on now. I mean, and now look, I want Dak to get paid, but at the same time, I have to say, you know, because at first, I mean, and this was the Cowboy hater in me, pay his money so it can break your salary cap. But at the same time, I'm like this, you talk about a dude who in 2019 was completely healthy, had all of those weapons, and lost to Carson Wentz and practice squad players and finished 8-8. I'm sorry, bro. You have to do better than that. You know, that's just me. And when it comes to paying him,
and that's probably why they're not really paying him. But I mean, what can you do without him? They think they were going to bring in Andy Dalton and still keep it moving, but we see what happened with that. I mean,
well, if it was Tony Romo, the deal would have been done.
I disagree. I disagree, but I agree in the sense that Romo, contractually speaking, his contracts weren't necessarily break the bank type contracts. He left a lot of wiggle room so they could make moves in free agency if they wanted to. The first contract, based on what you've seen from all the quarterbacks that were in the draft class with Dak. Dak's the last man standing, really, because Wentz is benched, and he's the last. Connor Cook, all these other guys that got drafted with Dak, they've done nothing. So, based on the money that Wentz got, the initial contract that Dak was offered was in that same area as Wentz and Goff.
But see, that's not totally true that's not totally true when you say with his draft class, a quarterback has done nothing. Carson Wentz, at least for one season, was an MVP, and Jared Goff took his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but where are they now?
Well, we know where Goff is at now.
Wentz is in turmoil right now. That's what he is doing. I don't even really know if he's even going to be on the Eagles this year. Although all the reports say they're doing all this changing for him, I mean, some of the signs point to they're not, and he's still talking.
I tell you what, if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm calling Houston and saying I'll trade you Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts and 3 first-round draft picks. Give me Deshaun Watson. We
need picks. We got to build over here because we're so old. We can't just get him and give our capital away. We got to do some drafting. We need more than the quarterback.
But again, speaking of Deshaun Watson, I told both of you guys this. This is what I would do. If I'm Houston, I told both of you guys this. I'm calling Jacksonville and I'm saying I will trade you Deshaun Watson for your number 1 overall pick this year, two more number 1 picks, and we keep it moving. Because that way you get Deshaun Watson, we draft Trevor Lawrence. Both of us have our quarterbacks of the future. If you're Jacksonville, you're getting a quarterback who's only 25 years old. You already know that he has it. And then, because for all we know, Trevor Lawrence could be a bust. We don't, they say he's a sure thing. Okay, that may be true. But if I'm Houston, I would say, hey, Deshaun wants to go. Okay, Jacksonville, give me your number 1 overall. We'll draft Trevor Lawrence. You get Deshaun Watson. Everybody wins.
I feel like Jacksonville needs a short thing at quarterback in there. It's been so long since they really had one, so I agree with you there. As far as getting them in Jacksonville, I know we talked about that as well. But yeah, because I did talk to you and say, hey, what if I'm Jacksonville? I could just get Trevor Lawrence and get him on his rookie deal. But there's no guarantee. For sure.
No guarantee.
Looking at Watson, that he could ball out.
And
so
then you could get Deshaun Watson and still have a ton of cap space.
Yeah. But I think that's the dark horse team because, as we were talking about, Urban Meyer, you can't depend on him being there for the long haul. So, yeah, you kind of got to go for it now. Whatever you can do, go for it now.
And are you really going for it now? I don't care if Trevor Lawrence has been seen as the number 1 overall pick since he's a freshman. There's still the difference between college and the pros. Motherfuckers thought Ryan Leaf was going to be the shit. And what happened? Motherfuckers thought Achilles Smith was going to be the shit. They thought Jamarcus Russell was going to be the shit.
Russell, I was about to say.
I'm not sitting here saying that that's going to be Trevor Lawrence, but if you can get an already proven quarterback who's 25 years old and I have a bunch of cap space and I got to give up a couple of number 1s, I can go with my cap space and bring him in, and I can bring Allen Robinson back to Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? I can go get me a number 1 wide receiver. I can get me I can start rebuilding on that defense because of the cap room I have. I don't know if Jacksonville's thought about this. I'm sure they have. But I would pull the trigger. I would pull the trigger on that because, like you said, Tony, you can't count on Urban Meyer for being there throughout his 5-year deal. Like I said earlier, we both gave him 3 years. I said unless in the 3rd year Jacksonville was in the AFC Championship game. Other than that, he'll take his talents right back to college football or the college football booth.
Yeah. And they had to have known that bringing him in. So, I don't know. But you'll be able to tell quickly what their mindset is. Free agency, that type thing, open, how aggressive they are, you'll be able to tell whether they feel the same way.
Okay. So the next question I have for you two, Tony, I'll lead off with you. Super Bowl. We didn't even get into this when we was on the phone. Who do you like in the Super Bowl?
Brady. Brady. I think Arians is a competent enough coach, smart enough coach to take a page from previous, Super Bowls, and let's go back to New England, KC. Ball control. I was talking to I Calvin about this. Ball control. You think your team will get smashed, but Leonard Fournette is been running the ball decent, and I think Tampa Bay knows they can't go blow for blow, with them in the shootout. Short passes, running game, 8 to 10 minute drives. Look at the previous game they played this season, 27-24. Yeah, Buccaneers lost, but they should have won.
You think so? I think that was a misleading score.
Yeah, Mahomes had a monster day, but when it came to the red zone, they kept him out the red zone. They let him track meet up and down the field, but kept him out of the red zone. If Pierre Paul and them can get enough pressure on Mahomes, I think Tampa Bay can take that. But then I also think that Tampa Bay get blown out because they are Jekyll and Hyde.
All right, Sean.
This is such a tough one because I do agree with him as far as Tom Brady and them, and I think Tampa is more physical, I want to say, than KC, but then KC is still, they're so fast, man. They're so fast, and it all depends on how those cornerbacks hold up against that offense. Because I think that the defensive line for Tampa Bay is going to give Mahomes some pressure, and if they can get to Mahomes like they did their last game, I think that's Tampa Bay.
Aaron Rodgers, rather.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, if they get like they did Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. And like you said, Leonard Fournette, he's been running good in his playoffs. He's running strong. You give Tom Brady a running back that they got to worry about too, coming out that backfield, and those are receivers. Let's not even talk about that. Gronk is proven to be to help out Tom Brady whenever he needs it. You got AB, you got Mike Evans. I mean, it's too many weapons over there, man. And then you got that running game, and then that defense. I just see Tampa Bay taking this one.
So both of y'all are calling Tampa Bay. Ain't that a bitch? Okay. Okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna say about that. Okay. Now, the fan in me actually wants Kansas City to kick the shit out of Tampa Bay because I don't want to see Tom Brady win nothing.
I'm tired of Tom Brady. I wish if he win, he just go away.
I mean, I don't have anything against Tampa Bay's organization, but I'm rooting against Tom Brady. Make whatever sense of that you want. But now, from realistically, I think that. I know they played once, but I think this is going to be the Super Bowl. This is going to be the game where Brady misses Belichick. I understand what you're saying, Tony, about him taking a page out of the book with ball control. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. I think that, and I told Calvin this earlier. I told Calvin this on the podcast. I said, look, if Kansas City gets up 17-0 this game, it's a wrap. They're not going to take their foot off the gas like they did when they played in the regular season. I said if the Bucs fall behind 3 scores, they're not going to pull an Atlanta Falcons and blow a 28-3 lead. If Kansas City gets up 3 scores, it's over. Now, that may not happen, but I think Kansas City is too fast. I understand they just lost Fisher. I understand that. That's going to be That's a huge loss, particularly with that front four Tampa Bay and then you got your Shaq Barrett and JPP. I get it, but I just think Kansas City is going to take it. I think I think that this is Mahomes putting his stamp of saying, I'm the guy now. It's almost like when Jordan met Magic in the finals in '91, and Magic was the age-old champion, even though the Lakers were hurt. That's the Laker fan in me talking. But, Jordan said, no, there's a new sheriff in town. And I think that's what Patrick Mahomes is going to say. They can look at all the tape they want. They don't have an answer for Tyreek Hill. You can double Tyreek Hill. Who's that going to leave open? Mecole Hardman, who runs a 4.2. You double Mecole Hardman, who's that going to leave open? Travis Kelce is going to be open regardless. Sammy Watkins will be back and play. The dude Pringle has stepped up. DeMarcus Robinson. They have burners, man. I understand Tampa Bay has receivers too, but like you said, Tony, they could easily get blown out because they're Jekyll and they've been Jekyll and Hyde. So I think Kansas City is going to be too much. I do. Andy Reid was talking about retiring. He's about to get his second Super Bowl trophy that's going to set him apart from Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll as the next best coach active under Bill Belichick. And Andy Reid 62 talking about retiring. He wins this Super Bowl. He ain't retiring until he's 70 because he gonna believe he could probably get about 4 more of them things when it's all said and done. So no, I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't want to see Tom Brady win shit.
Here's what you got. Here's what you got. And Tampa, I mean, it's a lot of speed over there, but they don't blitz a lot. They send that forward, and they expect that forward to get home, and they press coverage. That's the way you beat speed. We'll see how that goes. On the other side of the ball, you're going to have several monsters that can win a jump ball every time Brady throws it up. So we'll see.
Well, realistically, I think it's going to be a shootout.
Like I say, he gets, like he said, you get to that line, that speed, you put your hands on that speed on them press coverages and slow them guys down, let them forward get to them. And like I said, they were doing a good job at getting Aaron Rodgers, and I kind of see the movement of Aaron and Mahomes being kind of the same. Even though Aaron is a little older, he's not as mobile, but they kind of move around in the pocket the same. So, I mean,
well, I understand.
We'll see.
You guys are taking the Super Bowl 36 approach. You're looking at the Patriots against the Rams when the Patriot, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl against the greatest show on turf. You know, we all know Bruce, Torrey Holton, and Hakeem were speed demons, and they beat them up at the line of scrimmage. And I get it. I understand. You know, I understand. You guys may be right. I don't know if you guys.
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
know, man. That cloud coverage is a bitch. When you got a front four that can get to that quarterback, you do not have to blitz. You can bring in extra DBs and just play cloud coverage. Take a couple of them back linebackers off the field.
Well, I want you to
keep negated.
I want you to keep this in mind. While Kansas City is going to be without Fisher, Tampa Bay starting safeties ain't going to be there.
That's true too. That is true.
They're not going to be there. So think about that. Against those weapons. And then you don't just have to worry about the receivers. You got
we forgetting about Andy Reid. Andy Reid been around
a long time.
This is his first Super Bowl, ain't it?
No, did you say what?
No, second, ain't it?
Oh,
Who?
yeah, second. Yeah, Bruce Arians.
No,
Yeah.
as a head coach, no, this is his first.
Yeah, I thought it was his first.
In general, he's been as an assistant.
Oh no, he's been as an offensive coordinator. You know, yeah.
Andy.
As an OC,
Andy
yes.
been around the block, yeah. So
You think Andy Reid don't want to beat Tom? But look, he couldn't beat Brady and Belichick together. But damn it, he can get one of them.
He home from the Eagles that Super Bowl when I feel like they went in that halftime and came back on Donovan McNabb and them, and they talking about they had tape and cheated on them. So Andy won them.
He owes them for 2 years ago in the AFC Championship game. D Ford lines up offside. The pass was intercepted.
Yeah, I believe that's more the strategy that that ball control. Them short passes, Deion Lewis was eating them dudes up.
I understand that.
Those short passes.
But think about ball control with Kansas City now too. Okay, Darrell Williams has run the ball well. You still have Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. You cannot forget about that. Kansas City can play the same game. They can play the ball control game too.
Isn't that what you want, though? You want them to play that game, because then they have 8-minute drives, and it ain't that 1
And
minute
that speed, yeah. Exactly.
Well, if those 8-minute drives are leading into 7 points, what difference does it
I'm
make?
good with that. If they take 8 minutes to score 7 points, that means that over/under is something like 45, maybe 50 of that game. And if that game is that low scoring, that means Tampa's in it.
You're right, but what if you get Tom Brady from the second half of the Packers game? Because while everybody is,
Well, that's true too.
everybody's riding his dick, saying, "Hey, 10th Super Bowl, first year with Tampa, blase." He played like garbage in the second half of that game.
Yeah, and if it weren't for that defensive line, they would have lost that game because he definitely was giving that thing away.
Because I guarantee you, if Tom Brady throws 3 picks against Kansas City, they getting more than 6 points. Book it.
He was giving it, trying to give it away in that second half.
But you can't say that too, because
Aaron helped him out a little bit there too.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers should have ran on that third and he should have ran. That third and goal, he should have ran.
He definitely should have. He should have ran.
He had it. He had
that
it.
play. Like, why would you even why would you even do that? Like, why wouldn't you go for it instead of kicking that field goal? Because you still need a touchdown to get the lead.
Right. Right.
So I mean, so it was no purpose of even kicking the field goal. You might as well. Aaron Rodgers should have ran it, which would have gave him the opportunity to go for it on fourth down.
It'd have made it an easier decision.
Closer than that. It would have been an easier decision. But even still, I still would have went for it.
Oh yeah, I would have went for it too. Now where I will point the finger at Aaron Rodgers is not only because he didn't run it, but throughout that game when they got in the red zone, he was force feeding it to Davante Adams. Every time they got down there, he was force feeding him, and he missed a few wide open receivers. I remember one time when the first time they kicked the field, Lazard across the middle, wide open, wide open. You know, and they had to end up settling for 3 on the third down play where he should have ran it. What did he do? He threw it in the double coverage to Davante Adams. He's lucky he wasn't picked. You know, so you have to put that on Aaron Rodgers too. But like I said, I told Calvin this on the podcast. The Bucs defense got them to the Super Bowl, not Tom Brady.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like they're physical enough, and I think that Tom Brady is going to be his regular self in the Super Bowl, calm, collected, and ready to go. Everybody prepared, got the ball control with Leonard Fournette still running that ball, and I just think they're going to be too physical for KC. But you never know.
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing that nobody has talked about when you talk about matchups, we talk about coaching matchups, quarterback matchups. And the 2 Super Bowls that Tom Brady lost to the Giants, who was their defensive coordinator? Steve Spagnuolo. Who was Kansas City's defensive coordinator? Steve Spagnuolo. No, you don't have Strahan, Justin Tuck, and Osi Umenyiora on that front line, but this guy knows how to get to that quarterback. He knows what defenses to dial up for that quarterback. While the Kansas City defense doesn't have the Giants front 4, Giants defense didn't have Tyrann Mathieu either. And so it's going to be very intriguing. I would like to see a Kansas City blowout personally. I don't think that's going to happen. Tom Brady only plays an exciting Super Bowl, so I don't expect anything less. But you guys say Tampa, I'm saying KC. Hey, when the game is over, we can all come back on here and we can say, hey, you were right, or you were wrong. Whichever.
I mean, there's really no right or wrong because it could go either way.
It could. Hey, look.
It's so tough. It's so tough.
Tampa has the home field advantage.
Either way you look at it, you got the defending Super Bowl champ, but you got a dude that's the perennial Super Bowl champion. Arguably the greatest player at his position. So, I don't think the outcome is going to surprise people either way. I think the only thing that would surprise people is if Tampa Bay were to blow them out.
Yeah, that would be a shock now.
Right.
That would be a shock. If the final score is Tampa Bay 41 and Kansas City 20, the fuck. I mean, I wouldn't know what to, I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, honestly. But anyway, fellas, this has been fun. We got to do this again, but they still do have school tomorrow, even though it's virtually, which I think sucks because I was ready to tell my son to go ahead, stay up, but they got to do it virtually. So it is what it is, but I'm going to holler at you guys later. I'll definitely hit you guys up when I put this online. This is going to be called Sports Plus Life Special Edition, Talking Shit. With 2 dudes that I love to talk about that thing with, because the next time we get up, we got to talk some basketball. I would talk it now, but I don't really have the time. But we got to talk some basketball. We got to talk Brooklyn Nets, LA Lakers, LA Clippers. We got to talk more about the quarterback craziness that's going to be this offseason. Deshaun Watson, where is he going? Matt Ryan, where is he going? What's going to happen with Carson Wentz? What's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo? We got to get into all of that shit. We want all the smoke. But anyway, you guys, it's been real.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Holla at me.
I'm going to holler at y'all. I'll get at y'all in a minute.
All right, y'all.
All right. This has been a special Sports Plus Life edition. Sports Plus Life, talking shit. Your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. No music in the background, no sound effects, just pure barbershop sports talk. There's nothing better. Peace.